Oh my gosh, I have to look at Dr. Taylor right in front of me. Oh my gosh. Good afternoon. I'm Elizabeth Santamore, the Educator Recognition Coordinator at the Department of Public Instruction. I'm thrilled to extend a warm welcome to all of you joining us for the 2024 Wells Fargo North Carolina Principal of the Year announcement ceremony. This year, we are delighted to have the ongoing support of Equitable Advisors and PBS North Carolina enabling us to live stream today's event on the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction's YouTube and Facebook pages. This live stream presents a wonderful opportunity for school districts to rally behind their regional finalists and allows members of the education community to participate live as we honor the incredible achievements of these exceptional finalists. Today, we are here to celebrate the incredible leadership in North Carolina public schools across the state. These finalists represent the following districts: Cumberland County Schools, Rutherford County Schools, Wake County Public School System, Edenton-Chewan Public Schools, Charlotte-Mecklenburg Schools, Wilkes County Schools, Winston-Salem-Forsyth County Schools, New Hanover County Schools, and ArtSpace Charter in Swannanoa, North Carolina. These principals prioritize equity, solve problems creatively, and lead with integrity and empathy. Would all 9 finalists please stand? Let's extend a warm round of applause to the 2024 North Carolina Principals of the Year. Principals, we are so proud of your leadership. Thank you. Our gratitude goes out to our incredible program sponsors who have made this day possible. We deeply appreciate their invaluable partnership and support. As the named sponsor of the Principal of the Year program, Wells Fargo ensures the successful hosting of this esteemed event celebrating the Principals of the Year. Equitable's generous support enables the live stream of this program, allowing family and friends to experience the ceremony. We would also like to thank our sponsors, Carolina Hunger Initiative, Education First, Jostens, Lenovo, North Carolina Digital Learning Initiative, Truist. Their contributions have provided access to professional development, technology resources, recognition opportunities, and a network of support, ensuring that these principals are equipped with the tools and resources necessary to lead their schools effectively and foster a culture of excellence. I also wanted to acknowledge a longtime partner of NCDPI, the NC Principals and Assistant Principals Association. Proud supporter of the Wells Fargo Principal of the Year program, NC PAPA's Board of Directors is made up solely of Regional Principals of the Year representatives from the NCPOI program. NC PAPA provides membership and complimentary national conference attendance to the North Carolina Principal of the Year and another finalist in partnership with their national affiliates, the National Association of Elementary School Principals and the National Association of Secondary School Principals. At this time, I would like to invite all of our program sponsors in attendance to stand so that we can thank you for your contributions and support. I would also like to extend a sincere thank you to our state selection team for their hard work, service, and commitment to the profession and to this process. As I call your name, please stand and remain standing. Audience, kindly hold your applause until all selection team members are called. Dr. Marlo Artis, Principal of Craven Early College and creator and host of Tar Heel Teachers. Dr. Maria Petrie Martin, Executive Director of the UNCG Serve Center. Dr. Shirley Prince, Executive Director of North Carolina Principals and Assistant Principals Association. And Dr. Vanessa Wren, North Carolina Department of Public Instruction's Chief Information Officer. Let's give the selection team a round of applause. The tradition of the Wells Fargo North Carolina Principal of the Year dates back 40 years to 1984. Through this program, exceptional principals are celebrated for their dedication, innovation, and positive impact on student achievement and school culture. This program has built a legacy of leadership and a network of support. Today, we are honored to have many incredible Wells Fargo North Carolina Principals of the Year in attendance. We will have all former POIs rise for applause after naming all those who are in attendance. We have the 2011 Wells Fargo Principal of the Year, Dr. Rob Jackson. We have 2015, Dr. Steve Lassiter. We have 2016, Dr. Melody Chalmers McLean. 2017, Jason Griffin. 2018, Tabari Wallace. 2020, Dr. Keisha Clemens. 2021, Dr. Elna Ashburn. 2022, Dr. Patrick Green. And 2023, Donna Bledsoe. At this time, North Carolina Principals of the Year in attendance, please rise so we can thank you for your incredible leadership. That back corner. Yes. You all truly are what a legacy is made of. Like, honestly, it's incredible. In closing, I want to express my deepest gratitude to all of those at the Department of Public Instruction who have lent their support to this program. Though it's not feasible to acknowledge each person by name, please understand that I deeply appreciate your commitment, tireless contributions, efforts, steadfast support of principals, and the vital role that you have played in the celebration of North Carolina principals. It is truly remarkable. Thank you for your unwavering support and the time that you've invested to make this celebration possible. Now it is my pleasure to welcome Mr. Alan Duncan, Vice Chair of the North Carolina State Board of Education, to the stage. He will extend greetings on behalf of the State Board.
Great, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a wonderful privilege to be here today to honor our 2024 Wells Fargo North Carolina Principal of the Year. I bring greetings from the State Board of Education. We congratulate each of you on this enormous accomplishment of being named a Regional Principal of the Year. It's an enormous accomplishment. Our board has truly enjoyed working with our 2022 and 2023 Wells Fargo Principals of the Year, Dr. Patrick Green and Donna Bledsoe. Their experience and insightful contributions have been a real asset to the State Board. I speak on behalf of all my board members when I offer my gratitude to these outstanding principals for the tremendous job that they have done in serving as advisors to the board. When they speak about what we can do that is best for our students, we listen. We listen, and we learn from them. Those two tables in the back with all those principals of the year, those are incredible people. They're truly incredible people, and I cannot say enough about what they have contributed to education in the state of North Carolina. They help to shape policy decision-making in a very positive way, in a very student-centered way. They have set the bar high. Our board looks forward to continuing to work with Ms. Bledsoe this coming year and with this year's winner on behalf of our children. Our board recognizes the pivotal role that educators play in the quality of life for the people of this state, for all the people of this state. We have great admiration for all of our educators and the dedication that they bring to our most precious citizens, our children. In a room full of educators, both past and present, we do not want to miss the opportunity to say thank you, thank you, thank you to each of you for all that you have done and for all that you have contributed. It is not possible to adequately express the gratitude and appreciation we have for you and for what you do. And you are, hard to believe, underappreciated and not thanked enough for the incredible contributions you make. But please know, there are people who think so much of what you do and admire so much for what you do. There's no question that principals shape the culture of a school. They build relationships and nurture bonds among teachers and students. They also build relationships with parents and community leaders. These relationships are what make a school a community instead of just a place to work. It is a place of caring and learning. And that's because of the principals, and the educators, and all the other personnel within each of our buildings. The Principal of the Year regional finalists, whom we honor today, have built strong relationships and have accomplished so much in their careers to date. We look forward to what is to come because there will be a lot more from these wonderful individuals. These leaders exemplify what principals need to be and need to do in order for our public schools to succeed. They set the tone for their schools, and they provide the leadership that benefits all of our communities statewide. Our finalists are principals who, despite roadblocks, are working tirelessly to move North Carolina public schools forward. Our board admires the energy each of our regional finalists has shown in leading students, teachers, and staff every day. If you ever doubt the notion of energy in this job, sign up to follow a principal around for a day, and you will no longer need to be convinced about just how much energy and commitment is involved. Their positive and encouraging attitudes are reflected in all those whom they guide and work with within their schools. This is a remarkable achievement for each of you. We are very proud of each of you who have been named Regional Finalists of the Year. Thank you all for being outstanding educators, school leaders, and critical members of our school community. Thank you for being here and for your dedication to your teachers, students, and communities. My best to each of you. Every one of you is a winner today, and every day that you do this work, you are a winner. At this point, it's my pleasure and honor to introduce Mr. Juan Austin, Community Relations Senior Manager for Wells Fargo Philanthropy and Community Impact. Today, Mr. Austin will come forth and formally bring remarks on behalf of Wells Fargo. And as he comes forward on behalf of our board, we want to give a special thanks to Wells Fargo, not just for their continuing sponsorship of this wonderful event and recognition of principals, and also for our board chair, who is a Wells Fargo employee and provides so much support for the schools of North Carolina. Wells Fargo really has made a great contribution here with this event and through the work of Eric Davis, our chair. Thank you so much for being here today.
Well, thank you, Alan, and thank you to everyone who's here today. We are really excited to be a part of this program. I've been with Wells Fargo and Wachovia for 38 years, and ever since I was a young banker working in Fayetteville, I'd heard about the Wachovia, at that time, the Wachovia Principal of the Year program, and I thought it was really neat. As I matriculated in my career and learned that this program would be under my leadership moving forward, I tried not to miss this highlight of the year. It's very important to our company. It's very important to my team. You'll hear later from Susie Kuntz, who is managing this program now for at least the last 5 years. I think I missed the last 5 years for various reasons. And I look back at some of the pictures that were taken during the award ceremony, and I keep getting a little bit shorter, and I keep losing more hair. So, Susie, I'm just going to let you take the pictures with the regional winners. But again, it's my pleasure to be here on behalf of Wells Fargo to celebrate the dynamic leadership and dedication demonstrated by such impressive school leaders. Congratulations to each of the regional honorees for your accomplishments, and thank you for what you do every day to lead your students, teachers, and school communities to excellence, particularly over the past challenging few years. Your presence here today is a reflection of your commitment and the relentless drive to positively impact the lives of North Carolina young people. This year's selection team undoubtedly had an extremely difficult task in determining which candidate would receive the top honor this afternoon. Since 1984, our company has supported this program financially and with volunteers in collaboration with the Department of Public Instruction to recognize outstanding principals from around North Carolina's public school system. For the past 40 years, we have recognized 45 state Wells Fargo Principal of the Year and 297 regional award recipients, each one very deserving in their honor. In North Carolina, we have more than 34,000 Wells Fargo team members, and many of them have children in our public schools. At Wells Fargo, we share in the belief that education is the most important investment in our country's future that we can make. And honoring the practices of our principals in North Carolina is just one of the ways we choose to invest in communities. At Wells Fargo, our philanthropic focus enables and empowers nonprofit organizations across the country, and we are proud that in 2023, we invested over $275 million in programming with an eye toward accelerating an inclusive economy. In 2023, Wells Fargo provided grants to nonprofits here in the state and some school systems that totaled more than $12 million. That support was primarily focused on affordable housing, small business growth, financial health, and sustainable community development. So in addition, our North Carolina employees volunteered more than 144,000 hours with local nonprofits. And as Alan noted, Eric Davis, a Wells Fargo employee, and volunteers his time to serve on the state board. So I want to let you know that we care about education and that Wells Fargo is committed to helping you make the difference that you do here in the state. Thank you again for all that you do for our children and young adults. We recognize what an enormous job you have and the tireless dedication it takes. Let me close by saying congratulations again to all of you. You are appreciated for what you are doing to improve the lives of students across North Carolina. And please join me in a round of applause for these outstanding administrators. And let's celebrate all day long today what they do to make our public schools successful. Thank you. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Ms. Donna Bledsoe, the 2023 Wells Fargo North Carolina Principal of the Year. Donna is a product of North Carolina's public schools and has dedicated over 2 decades to education, currently serving as principal of Cedar Ridge Elementary. With a background spanning classroom teaching to district-level coaching and administration, Donna's leadership is driven by her belief in every student's potential to thrive academically and personally. Please join me in welcoming Donna Bledsoe to the stage.
Good afternoon on what has turned into a beautiful Friday afternoon in this fantastic location. I want to thank our sponsors who make all of this possible. Wow. Those are the first words I said a year ago, standing at this podium when I was announced North Carolina Principal of the Year. I was so honored to be in the room and considered among my amazing regional cohort. I am grateful to each of them for their continued partnership and leadership throughout our state. I think wow still sums up how I feel about this journey that I am forever grateful and humbled to have been able to participate in as I have worked to be an advocate for my principal colleagues and to uplift the work of early literacy in our state. I am grateful to be able to share the perspective of rural schools and rural school leaders to the west of Raleigh. As a leader, we often work tirelessly to lift up others around us, and so my hope for each of you today is that you take a moment and let us uplift you for your servant leadership that brought you here today. You are among a small group of leaders in history across the state who have held the title of Regional Principal of the Year. I am proud of you for your work and look forward to your advocacy over the next year, being a voice for your region and for the approximately 2,700 school principals across North Carolina. In 2022, after winning the North Carolina ASCD Lighthouse Award for Innovation in Literacy and Leadership, our school staff at Cedar Ridge Elementary ventured on a book study of the lighthouse effect. Steve Pemberson states in this book, "In illuminating the pathway to safety, the lighthouse offers us a chance to move beyond the fears of and uncertainty of the storm and toward the peace and calm of safe harbor. So it is with people who make the most impact of our lives. For while lighthouses of the sea have stood watch for millennia, the most powerful, enduring lighthouses are the human ones." I believe the educators of North Carolina public schools are the lighthouses that guide our communities. In times of fair weather, they sit as anchors of unwavering support. In dark, stormy times, they become crucial to the success of those who depend upon them. Each of you, as we will hear examples of today, is a beacon ensuring that your school is the cornerstone of your community. Today, as I speak to you about being lighthouses across our great North State, I would like to also speak to you about the lighthouses that made my year as the 2023 Wells Fargo North Carolina Principal of the Year possible. First, I want to thank my family, represented here today by my oldest daughter, Emma Gray. My first lighthouse in life was my mother, the person who reminded me, in her first August not in the classroom in 20 years, as she was under hospice care, that each August is a gift that no other profession gets, where we get a fresh start to achieve our goals. She also told me that she missed the joy of the classroom, and every day since her passing in September of 2016, I have worked to remember that the profession of education is a gift that does bring joy to those around us. Although stormy times will always try to steal our happy, it is the lighthouse of joy that anchors us in our true purpose, and that is why we do the hard work of the heart work. I will continue to work in her legacy, showing my children the beauty and possibilities of a profession in education. Thank you to my children, Emma Gray and Otis, who aren't here today, my husband, Billy, my father, and my sister, for keeping me going each day and for being my North Stars. I am so blessed to be able to stand on this platform at 42 after a 20-year career and show my children that achievements are possible at any age and any point, as long as you keep your eyes focused on what matters most. Good things will come to you, even those that are unexpected. To my school community, my school family, who are really the unsung heroes of this year, my greatest joy is getting to speak about Cedar Ridge Elementary in Low Gap, North Carolina, across our state. They deserve all the praise. No leader stands where any of you are today without a great staff behind you. This year has been difficult for us with my traveling and the loss of one of our students recently. Yet still they came together as true professionals and leaders to continue to accomplish amazing things. As a leader, you hope that the work you're doing today will leave an impact in your absence. This year has blessed me with the ability to say, Cedar Ridge Elementary will have a tradition of answering the question, whatever is best for students, long into the future. They are represented here today by my assistant, Victoria Calhoun, in crime, who joined in 2019. She is chaos. Thank you for my journey and this journey in education and for making me better every day. And my heart, see, I can't do it. I get all sappy. To our North Carolina State Board of Education, thank you for your advocacy for all and welcoming teachers, educators, and more importantly, students as advisors to the board. Thank you for really meaning it when you say you want to hear our voices at the table. I'm so appreciative of your support and for continuing to fight the good fight for education. A lot of what you do goes unseen, but it does not go unnoticed. To Superintendent Catherine Truitt, thank you for showing me a strong woman in leadership who works to uplift others around them. I've seen your heart for making decisions in the best interest of North Carolina students. You have the unique ability to make those around you feel seen and supported. I began my journey a year ago whispering to Catherine Truitt that I think she is amazing for her support of early literacy because it continues to show positive results for our students. I'm grateful today to make that statement a little louder. To our North Carolina Teachers of the Year, Leah and Kim, they always shine bright. Thank you for reminding me every day why as school leaders we work to advocate for our teachers so they can keep bringing the joy to teaching and learning. I thank you for always speaking from the heart, for loving what you do, and for advocating unapologetically for your colleagues and our students. To the North Carolina Principal of the Year Network, when I stood on this stage a year ago, the cheer was the loudest from your table. Not that y'all can't tell that today, right? The text messages that followed, words of wisdom and support over the past year is something I would never dream of. You have been voices of reason, voices of support, voices of advocacy. I am grateful to know you, to learn from you, and to lead beside you. To my North Carolina Principal of the Year partner, Patrick Green, I'm not sure how to come up with what your friendship has meant this year. You have been a mentor, cheerleader, and a big brother. In the moment where I thought I couldn't, there was always a note of support of, you got this, go forward. No competition, only cheering for one another and collaborating to make each other better. For anyone who has a friend like this, you know it's rare and is a blessing. I hope I'm able to show the next Principal of the Year the same type of friendship and support. To all the friends I've made along the way, like Elizabeth Santamore, who has done an amazing job with this work today, but who at the end of the day has become my person to call and share the positives, or even more important, to call when I need somebody to guide me back to the heart of the work. She is a lighthouse for everyone who meets her. Thank you for being a lighthouse to our North Carolina Principal of the Year Network and to our North Carolina Principal of the Year program. Thank you for indulging me as I highlight a few of my lighthouses, and I hope you will remember to be a lighthouse to others, sharing your impact and joy for our profession. This past year, serving as the 2023 Wells Fargo North Carolina Principal of the Year has been nothing short of a profound honor and a privilege. It has been a year of opportunity, advocacy, and humble service. A year that has allowed me to witness firsthand the remarkable dedication and resilience of educators across our state. North Carolina's public schools are doing phenomenal things that need to continue to be shared often and loudly. Another quote from the Lighthouse Effect states, "The lighthouse does not qualify your distress. It does not ask if you are black or white, wealthy or less so, Democrat or Republican. It does not concern itself with where you stand on a particular issue, nor does it blame you for being in the middle of the storm. Rather, its priority is how it might guide you to safe harbor." My prayer today is that you remember to center in your joy for the work and be a lighthouse that guides everyone you come in contact with, answering all questions about education with the answer, whatever is best for children in public schools from Murphy to Manio. Thank you again for allowing me to represent you as your 2023 North Carolina Wells Fargo Principal of the Year and to share my joy for the work. Thank you. Thank you. I don't get to leave the stage, so thank you. Now, it is my honor and privilege to to share words of celebration for our 9 Regional Principals of the Year from Governor Roy Cooper.
Hi, everybody. Governor Roy Cooper here. The key to great public education is a great principal in every school and a great teacher in every classroom. And I'm glad to join you today to recognize the 2024 Regional Principals of the Year. My mom was a public school teacher, and like many of you, she made a real difference in the lives of her students. She knew that an effective principal made a real difference in the school. I've declared 2024 as the year of public schools in North Carolina. I've visited schools across our state, and I've seen firsthand all of the amazing things happening there. Last year, we saw some of the highest graduation rates in our state's history, and public school students earn hundreds of thousands of workforce credentials. Those successes come from hard work and dedication of our outstanding principals and educators. Thanks to this year's Regional Principals of the Year for your dedication to improving your schools and the lives of your students. To our 2023 Principal of the Year, Donna Bledsoe, thanks so much for all of your outstanding work. And to our soon-to-be named 2024 Wells Fargo, North Carolina Principal of the Year, congratulations. We can't wait to work with you. Thanks for all you do. Keep up the great work.
Thank you, Governor Cooper, for those important words and, more importantly, for continued advocacy for North Carolina public educators. Now I'd like to extend a warm welcome to our State Superintendent, Ms. Catherine Truitt, and ask that she join me on stage as we acknowledge and honor our finalists. Finalists, it is my pleasure to introduce each of you individually. At the conclusion of your introduction, I invite you to join us on stage to receive your certificate and take a photo with our State Superintendent. Are y'all ready? Let's do it. Introducing Erica Finner McAdoo, the Sandhills Region Principal of the Year from Howard Hall Elementary School in Cumberland County Schools. Erica is accompanied by her husband, mother, and best friend. Additionally, her guests include her superintendent, Dr. Marvin Conley, who also happens to be the 2024 North Carolina Superintendent of the Year. Yes, friend. Area Superintendent of School Support, Associate Superintendent of School Support, and her administrative assistant. Congratulations.
Relationships are the cornerstone of leadership and success in a school building. You have to know that your teachers know you, they understand you, and likewise. Teachers want to be seen, they want to know that you care, and so that's what I do. And relationships take time to build. No position is above any other. Every part supplies the whole. I say that all the time because it's true. All of us working together in a collective effort is what gives our school success and the great culture that we have. Also make sure that I am investing in my teachers' professional growth. I want to make sure that they don't feel stagnant, that they're learning different strategies through our PLCs and other opportunities. All students have the potential to have success, and success looks different for every child. My mantra is every hornet, every day, some success in some way. I say that to the students. They say it to me. They know it now. Glass half full, not glass half empty. I want to make sure that students know that there is success every day, even if it's tiny. There's so many influences that our children see, and they feel discouraged and not good enough. And I just want them to see the opposite way, even if it's something small, and that success builds into adulthood.
Introducing Dr. Serena Fuller, the Charter School Principal of the Year from Arts-Based Charter School in Swannanoa. Serena is accompanied by her husband and 2 daughters. Additionally, her guests include her school board chair, a professional network colleague, and 2 colleagues from Artspace.
Since the time I was little, and knew I wanted to stay in the schools because I believe with so much of me that education is about people. Education is about the young people that we're responsible for, helping them to develop confidence, to empower them to find their own voice, to be critical thinkers, and to contribute in meaningful ways and ways that fulfill them as young people. But beyond that, school is about adults. And teaching one another and learning from one another and creating communities where we support one another. Education is about the people in the community, even if they're not in the school. We are really contributing to something much bigger than ourselves. And I've found in my experience that educators are some of the most driven, most passionate people we know. And they just need to be given space to be bold on behalf of their students, because our students want that permission too. And if they're doing that in a trusting, supportive environment, they can do anything. And beyond that, we listen and we give space for people to tell us what they need, to tell us how they're feeling. And this is for staff, this is for parents, this is for stakeholders and for students. You give them space and you listen. And when you're all looking at the same things with the same goals in mind, they'll tell you what they need to feel successful and supported. And even when resources are tight, even when pressure's on, you find ways to make it happen, even small ways, and even by listening, you're building that community.
Introducing Christiane May, the Southeast Region Principal of the Year from Castle Hayne Elementary School in New Hanover County Schools. Christiane is accompanied by her husband, mother, and father. Additionally, her guests include her superintendent, executive director of elementary schools, and 2 instructional coaches.
That it's important for us as a school system and everybody in this school to be proximate to the population that we serve. So as the principal, I feel like my role is to support and provide for my teachers so that they can support and provide for their students. I think giving parents the opportunities to come into our schools and to have a relationship with their teacher, it's that teacher-parent relationship that make the difference for the student. The kids that are sitting in our classrooms right now are our future. They are the kids that are going to be leading this world. They're going to be leading society. It's incumbent upon us to invest in them so that that makes the world a better place. It's our responsibility and our obligation to students to provide them with the very best possible education. I believe that their life depends on the work that we do with them every day, and that it is the most important job that anybody can have, to come in here and work with a group of children who are destined for greatness. Another thing I believe is in the power of the team. I believe that it takes everybody that walks into this building every day, from the custodians to the office staff to the teacher assistants. It takes everybody in this building working together to make this work happen. None of this can happen in isolation, that it really does take everybody here doing the work together.
Introducing Dr. Nancy Martinez, the Piedmont Tri-Region Principal of the Year from Career Center High School in Winston-Salem, Forsyth County Schools. Nancy is accompanied today by her brother, sister-in-law, and a friend. Additionally, her guests include her superintendent, regional superintendent, assistant principal, and colleague at the Career Center High School.
We are big on instilling hope in our kids and on our teachers. So my job is to, whatever the teachers hope to do so that they can serve the students, then my job is to make it happen for them, right? Relationships, relationships, relationships. We start the year with getting to know them. We will know enough about them to reach them in their learning. My grandma always said, reach the heart before you reach the brain, and that is very true of education, and I adhere to that every day. In the classroom, they have classroom meetings, they have a lot of collaboration and opportunity to speak in choice, so they say, okay, this is a little different. We continuously ask for their input, not only from students, from staff, from the stakeholders. They are at the table with me, our reach to partnerships all over the county to make happen the hope that my teachers have for their students. I am very transparent with my staff, and in those relationships that I've built with them over the last 4 years, they are not shy about asking me what they need. It's not that I have to wonder, which is great. At Career Center High School, we have only students for a finite period of time, half a day, so relationships are paramount to make sure that we reach them, and I think, and I know that is one of the biggest reasons why we're successful as a school, because we surround them with love and nurturing, but also firm expectations.
Introducing Winston Pierce, the North Central Region, Principal of the Year from Farmington Woods Magnet Elementary School in Wake County Public School System. Winston is accompanied today by her sister, mother, father, and 2 sons. Additionally, her guests include her superintendent and area superintendent.
I always wanted a principal to know my name, and they didn't. And some of that had to do with I changed schools a lot as a child, but it is a passion for me to make sure that all of our students are seen and they're valued and they know that they belong in the building in any role that I've served in. As a magnet school principal, that sense of school community is essential. Many of our students do not live near the school. They're not assigned to the school. They come from all over the segments of our county. And so to have an effective school, we have to have a sense of community. So we have a ton of structures in place to help families connect to each other, to help students connect to each other, creating an open door environment where families are welcome to come in the morning, welcome to interact not only with other families, but with the staff here on a regular basis. Learning is fueled when students are fully engaged, when they also have agency, where they have voice, choice, and ownership in things that happen. where they smile and where they work with adults who also smile. Having families and teachers involved in decision making and giving some power to those individuals to connect to their school and the learning for students is incredibly powerful, and it creates a partnership. All of that leading to the importance of learning being successful for all students every day.
Introducing Sonia Reinhardt, the Northeast Region Principal of the Year from John A. Holmes High School in Edenton-Chowan Public Schools. Sonia is accompanied today by her spouse, mother, father, and 2 daughters. Additionally, her guests include her Assistant Superintendent and Chief Technology Officer.
My whole demeanor comes from being raised on a produce farm. One person cannot yield a harvest. It takes every person in order to grow and to harvest a crop. You have to get your hands dirty. Sometimes it's before the sun rises, sometimes it's when the sun goes down, but every person is vital. I've transferred that to my school leadership. Every person in my team is vital. Every person is necessary in order to prepare our students for success after high school. That's what I've transferred to be a leader at this school. We all have to work together, and every team member is vital to the success of every single student. We have to be there to help each other out and also to hold each other accountable. My motto is, be the change. We choose every single day to be the change in a child's life, and it takes every single one of us. They have to realize that they can come back to us as we are a family unit that they can rely upon. And we are here to provide them opportunities so that when they leave us, they have options, they have choices. Often students will ask me, why do you keep nagging me? And I say, why do I keep nagging you? And they're like, because you want me to have choices. I said, that's right. Thriving communities have thriving schools because they invest in their students. We have to be the change in our students to change that trajectory. The one statement, the one smile, that one class, that one visit can change the life of a child.
Introducing Phil Rogers, the Western Region Principal of the Year from R.S. Central High School in Rutherford County Schools. Phil is accompanied today by his wife, mother, and 2 daughters. Additionally, his guests include his district's Chief Operating Officer and School Board Chairman.
As a teacher, I loved helping people, and then when I became an assistant principal, I realized I could help even more people, and then as a principal, help more people and have a huge impact on the support staff, the folks, all the folks that are so integrally important to what goes on in the classroom, the cafeteria workers, the custodians, the bus drivers. If I can brighten their day a little bit, if I can get them to feel good about themselves, that's going to help the teachers, and that's what we're all here for. We're here serving teachers and making sure they can help kids learn all that they need to learn. I live here, I go to church here, I go to the grocery store here, I go to all the ball games, so I'm very accessible, and people know me, and I think they feel comfortable coming to me and talking with me about what's going good or what's going bad, and we work to try to fix what's not. Try to be very responsive and have open door policy. Being an administrator is an enormous job. It's a very powerful job and very influential job. And how you use that is very important to the success of your students in your building. I think every decision that you make as an administrator, the filter should be, how does this help the students in your building? How does this impact our students?
Introducing Beckie Spears, the Northwest Region Principal of the Year from Wilkesboro Elementary School in Wilkes County Schools. Beckie is accompanied today by her husband, mother, 2 daughters, and sister. Additionally, her guests include her superintendent, director of student services, and a mentor.
Wilkesboro Elementary makes the word we. So one thing I intentionally do is to try to figure out who are we. So when I was first named principal here, I spent a lot of time getting to know our community, observing our students in our classroom, talking with them, understanding who they are, where they came from, what they loved, what they enjoyed. Also spent a lot of time getting to know our staff and understanding what their strengths were, what their passions were, also what their desire for our school community was, and also the broader community that we serve, to know who they are, what their history is, what their values are. Once we knew that, we set apart, well, what are we? Our school leadership team actually sat down and we reviewed our mission, and that mission to make sure that everyone can achieve and to reach their greatest potential is something that we take seriously. In our school, we are a community of learners, and that includes the children, that includes the teachers, that includes their parents. And I think that that helps embrace the mindset of growth and learning, which is something that is very important here. That whole desire to build and create and support communities brought me back to my own community. And for me, that's a very special thing. So to be the principal in a school where I was once a child, where my own children went to school, and where I was also a teacher, is a unique opportunity to invest and be part of a community that I love and cherish, and one that I think is better because of the work that I do every day.
Introducing Dwight Thompson, the Southwest Region Principal of the Year from Renaissance West STEAM Academy and Charlotte Mecklenburg Schools. Dwight is accompanied today by his aunt, 2 cousins, significant other, and a friend. Additionally, his guests include his superintendent and family advocate at Renaissance West.
From my teachers, and that I expect them to absolutely do great things by kids, and I do that in a way where I take care of my teachers. I think they see that I understand the work of teaching and I'm not far removed where I'm just saying do this, do that, and things of that nature, but they see that I truly do care, and it's my goal for them to be able to go on to do the next thing. I think with students, it's the same thing. It is inundating them with the expectation that they can do anything. And I know that sounds cliche, but it's that you can do anything, you can be anything. It doesn't matter where you live, what your income level is, what the color of your skin is, and I inundate them with that information every single day. It is a new day every single day, and I drive them crazy, and they know that he's going to be that aggravating principal that comes back day after day. I am on them every day, almost all 800, for them to do well and to do great things. And I'd say with parents, it's a little bit a different approach for me. That relationship is really, really important, but I'm going to tell you the truth. And the name of the truth and the spirit of the truth is for you to do better and to you to do great things for your children as well. And it's this partnership. They have my work cell phone number, and they know that you can contact me at any time, because it's all about your child and it's all about you too. But I want them to do right by their children, and for them, their kids, to go on and do great things as well.
Congratulations to all our regional finalists. As North Carolina's State Superintendent, Catherine Truitt is dedicated to enhancing the state's public schools, fostering innovation, and providing students with new opportunities to learn, grow, and succeed in their post-secondary endeavors. Now, please welcome State Superintendent Catherine Truitt to the podium as she shares some remarks.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It is such an honor to be with so many amazing leaders all in the same room. I'd like to first thank our sponsors, Wells Fargo, the Carolina Hunger Initiative, Education First, Equitable Advisors, Jostens, Lenovo, the North Carolina Digital Learning Initiative, and Trust. Your support makes this beautiful event possible and allows us to treat these exceptional educators with the dignity and respect that they deserve. So thank you so much. (2015) was the year that I transitioned out of the classroom and into the policy space. And one of the first reports that I read that really got me thinking differently about my experiences in the classroom was something published that year called the Manna Report. And the Manna Report is named for a professor named Paul Manna, who was at William and Mary College in our neighbors to the north in Virginia. And this was really one of the first research papers that attempted to quantify the value of a principal. And it did that in a couple of different ways. One way was that it talked about the ROI that we get when we invest in principals. So if you think about, we have just in North Carolina 98,000 teachers, but only 5,600 principals or administrators. And administrators, as his report, I believe that he was the first to coin the expression that principals are multipliers of excellence, that your impact is exponential in a building. And we've seen that so clearly in all of your videos. He also quantified the amount of space that principals get in legislative endeavors. In other words, the amount of time that the principalship appears in legislative asks. And we have 98,000 teachers, but 5,600 principals. And so sometimes teachers are going to get the bulk of the space in an organization's legislative agenda. But his point was that if we could give a little bit more time and attention, legislatively speaking, to the principalship. In other words, Look more closely at principal pay. Look more closely at the resources principals have, at the amount of professional development they get. You know, it's really hard to get a principal out of his or her building to go and do professional development. So perhaps we could do a better job of making that happen for our principals. And so this was a report that stuck with me for a long time. And so when I came to office in early 2021, I decided that I needed to hire someone to be part of my team who would think nothing about nothing else except the principalship. And that person would not just engage with principals, but also help create opportunities for professional development for principals, as well as engage with the legislature on what principals need, in particular with some problematic principal pay issues we have in North Carolina. And that they would do this with the Principal Advisory Council, and that this person would work with the Principal of the Year cohort. And it became clear to me very quickly that this person should be none other than Mr. Tabari Wallace. Could you stand, please, Tabari? Tabari has done that on your behalf and more. And I just, as my time comes to a close in office, I just want to make sure that everyone in this room knows that there are advocates for you. And not just Tabari, but the people, first of all, everyone sitting at Tabari's table, let's just say that. But you all can be that advocate now. And so my hope for you is that as part of this cohort, that you will ensure that principals are not left off of the legislative agenda every year, and that your voices will continue to be heard. So it's always a challenge to pick just one school leader to represent each region of our state. You all are the glue that holds our schools together. You provide crucial connections between classroom and community. That was another theme we saw in your videos. This crop of finalists in particular have deep roots in the areas that you serve. Many of you were students at the schools that you now lead, or you spent years in the classroom before becoming an administrator, and you've built strong relationships with families and community members. And you've used those connections to enrich your students' lives. We know that teaching students to be productive members of their communities is just as important as imparting knowledge upon them. All of you are deeply passionate about supporting the educators and staff in your building. You foster a culture of trust and collaboration and never shy away from picking up a broom, driving a bus, or covering another's class. You know that the most effective teachers are lifelong learners, so you keep professional development top of mind despite having a million other competing priorities. You lead by example by taking time to improve yourselves too. So without further ado, I'd like to offer a few individual remarks to each of you. First, Erica. Erica, you believe that we are all in this together and that no one person is more important than another. You operate from a place of positivity grounded in the idea that success builds on itself. Every day, you work to show students that self-improvement is possible when we work hard. Phil. Phil, you believe that a principal's impact is exponential and that all decisions must filter through the question, does this help our students? You have a natural inclination to want to fix what's not working, and you know that being visible and accessible allows us to come together and make things better for your students. Winston. You believe that student agency and engagement are intertwined. You strive to create conditions ripe for learning, and every day you work to help families connect to their child's school so that partnerships work for all children. Sonia, you believe that leadership is all about inclusivity. Your faith in the power of collective efficacy shows up daily in the school community. And it's clear to everyone that you value the importance of all instead of most. Dwight. Dwight, you believe in the power of truth-telling and the role it plays in convincing students that they are capable of doing great things. You know that taking care of teachers is key to taking care of students, and that when every day is a new day, the possibilities are endless. Beckie. You believe that the answers to the questions, who are we and who do we serve, are found right there within the community. You know that the strengths and passions of the people within a school help fulfill your mission, and that your community of learners includes students, teachers, and parents alike. Nancy. You believe that transparency allows for all stakeholders to find a place at the table, and that this in turn yields fruitful advocacy. You work tirelessly to actualize hope for students by surrounding them with love and high expectations. Christiane, you believe that we have an obligation to deliver excellence to our students who are our future leaders. You are the embodiment of the mantra, there is no I in team. And know it takes all of us to guide, support, and provide that excellence to our school community. And finally, Serena. You believe that education is about people, and that in order to empower people, you must give them a voice. Your commitment to listening is as important as your commitment to giving students and teachers a place to be bold so they can see the size of their gifts. Let's give them one more round of applause. I'm so grateful to each of you for your commitment to serving North Carolina's public school students. Before I leave the stage, I have to thank our outgoing Wells Fargo Principal of the Year, Donna Bledsoe. Donna, you've been such an incredible advocate for public schools over the past year, just like you have in your 14 years as an administrator. You all know that her motto is #BringTheJoy, and boy, do you every time you walk in a room. I think all of us who've had the pleasure of working with Donna this past year can agree that she has brought joy to the advocacy that she loves to do across the state, and that it has made a lasting impact. In fact, it is the work that Donna has done with data in kindergarten through 5th grade reading that actually has appeared on our legislative agenda this session to expand the Excellent Public Schools Act to allow for dibbles to be given in grades 4 and 5, because we know that that is going to help our students be reading proficiently well before they leave elementary school. So thank you for that. You are a true champion for students, for your staff, and you have built a school culture where everyone feels valued, supported, and motivated to achieve their full potential. As Donna would say, this is the heart work, not the hard work, the heart work that leads to better academic outcomes, higher levels of student engagement, and a fulfilling educational experience for all involved. Donna, I wish that you had been my principal. And I'm looking forward to figuring out how we are going to continue to be able to work together to do heart work. All right, we're getting very close. At this time, I'd like to welcome Susie Kuntz, Community Relations Lead Consultant, Wells Fargo Philanthropy and Community Impact, to the stage to announce the 2024 Wells Fargo, North Carolina Principal of the Year. Susie.
Wow. I have to steal Donna's word. There's no other word for this very impressive group of finalists. And I also have to echo the words of Alan and Juan. Thank you. Thank you for all that you do every day. Today has been an incredible celebration of leadership across the state. Congratulations again to all the finalists. It's now my honor and privilege to announce the 2024 Wells Fargo, North Carolina Principal of the Year. This principal emphasizes the importance of authenticity, teamwork, and communication in building a supportive and nurturing school where everyone feels like they belong. This principal acknowledges the challenges school leaders face and draws on their background as a teacher to guide their approach, prioritizing modeling, collaboration, and building efficacy. This principle values open and transparent communication, believing that clarity fosters kindness and helps meet high expectation. This principal has a deeply rooted connection to their school, having attended as a student and taught there for many years before returning as principal. This school that this principal leads uses sunflowers to remind the school community of the importance of staying focused on learning and growth, even amidst challenges and change. We are confident that the students, staff, and entire Wilkesboro Elementary School community are going to be beaming with pride having this principal, Beckie Spears, as the 2024 Wells Fargo Principal of the Year. Congratulations, Ms. Spears.
I think, Donna, you said wow, and this is what my daughter's kindergarten teachers would call a wow moment. Here's how you make a wow moment. Wow. Truth is, kindergartners can read it now, too. That's awesome. It is an incredible honor to be here with you today, celebrating so many distinguished educators. I often share lunch with 100 people, but they're usually asking me to open their ketchup. So being here in this beautiful space for this delicious lunch just on a Friday in May is very surreal. And standing here right now is even more surreal. The love, the professionalism, and the generosity that has been shown for us throughout this award season has just, it's been overwhelming. It's something that educators don't often experience. So to all of you who have made that possible, particularly our sponsors, I would like to give you a heartfelt thank you for that. I believe that being a principal is a tremendous privilege, even in the hard days, and there are some. Truthfully, there are many. I am fortunate to stand beside many dedicated North Carolina educators to do the important work of creating thriving schools. I've had a long love story with North Carolina public schools,
And it started with my schooling at Mulberry Elementary School. My parents were home builders in a rural community, and I grew up watching them help families find a place to live and also to raise their own families. My parents taught me to work hard, to respect and to care for other people, and they also taught me that I could learn something from every single person that I met. Most importantly, my mother, who is here today, showed me that every family wants the best for their children and that every child is someone's cherished gift. Mulberry Elementary was our beloved community hub, and it's one that offered all children the opportunity for a bright future. Donna, I think it would have been a lighthouse. School was a place where adults answered our endless questions, while strong teachers taught us to find our gifts, to identify our purpose, and to contribute to a community. School was also a place of safety, of possibility, of discovery, and very much connection. So it was when I was a child at school that I discovered the collaborative and collective power and energy that can be created when a community comes together to support its children and its schools. And now, as principal at Wilkesboro Elementary, where I also was a student and a teacher and a mama, my colleagues and I work really hard to build a nurturing, supportive community for this generation of families. Our school is a love letter to public education, and we make it our mission to help all learners, kids and adults alike, reach their greatest potential. We demonstrate that. For us, love's an action word, yeah. We show love through our high structure that we provide, the high expectations that we have, the relationships we build, and the energy that we bring to school every day for our students. We demonstrate that love by creating the right conditions for students to find who they are and what they can be. We help them engineer dreams of their future, and we empower them with the skills and the knowledge to become that. We also support parents and families by helping them navigate modern family life, which is complicated and challenging, and by engaging them as partners to nurture and value their children's learning. Children only get one childhood, and we take seriously the great responsibility we have to make school enjoyable, productive, and rich with the opportunity for learning. So, Donna, there is joy in every school day, and we make sure of that. I would not be here today without the support and the engagement of our entire Wilkesboro Elementary School community. Our school motto is, "We can do hard things." And I am inspired by the people who serve beside me and our students. The quality of a school, its principal, cannot exceed the quality of its educators. And it is important to honor, acknowledge, and highlight the important role that they play in our community and in our state. The entire Wilkes County Schools community and Superintendent Mark Bird empower us to bring that vision to life. My friend and mentor, Richie Cornett over there, who took a chance on me as a young administrator, he taught me to hire the best people and coach them towards their strengths. He also taught me to be authentic to my values and to trust my gut as a leader. I will always be grateful for you. I also need to acknowledge that being a public educator is a family affair, and I see your beautiful family surrounding you today. And through my whole career, I want to thank my husband, Will, and my children, Emma and Clara, for their service. They have been by my side year after year, whether they're painting our school hallways, forming treat bag assembly lines, they're pros at that, or whether they're eating cereal or ramen for dinner. I am proud, too, that they got excellent educations in North Carolina public schools. And when I consider the vibrant lives that Emma and Claire are leading, I think about all their accomplished teachers who nurtured and coached them to find their own passions. My sister April is also an educator. She's been beside me about every day for the past 29 years, and it is through her love, her encouragement, and daily counseling sessions that I am able to keep growing and going. I recently heard someone say that hope is the single most important thing that we can bring to our school communities. And hope there was described with an acronym, and it was hearing other people's experiences. I feel hope when I think of the dedicated educators in our state who routinely do hard things to support others. I think of the bus drivers, the custodians, the cafeteria staff, the support staff, and all the people who come to North Carolina schools and see the value in every child and work to build pathways to succeed. These are powerful stories, and they're stories of individual educators whose collective work strengthens, binds, and lifts our communities. We need to tell these stories because by sharing the things that we're doing and the good work that's being done in our schools, we can build more robust engagement with public education and more celebration, more respect, and more meaningful support for public educators. I want to thank the many sponsors who made this program possible. Thank you to Carolina Hunger Initiative, to Education First, to Equitable Advisors, to Jostens, to Lenovo, to North Carolina Digital Learning Initiative, to Truist, and to Wells Fargo for celebrating educators like me and our distinguished colleagues here. Your role in spotlighting public education in North Carolina shows the good that can be created when we work together to support public education, and it also defines the economic value that North Carolina schools bring to the greater North Carolina. Being a principal is a tremendous privilege, and I'm proud of our collective commitment to creating these nurturing, supportive spaces where all children have the opportunity to learn, to grow, and to find their place in the world. Now, I would like to invite our entire Principal of the Year team to join me on stage. Sonia, Christiane, Wilson, Erica, Nancy, Dwight, Phil, and Serena. They have inspired me with their stories, and now that I've gotten to peek in their schools through those videos, I am even more on fire about your stories and the innovative work that you do. I look forward to the remarkable talents that this group of leaders will bring to this work, and I'm excited to stand and serve with them as we spread the good things that North Carolina Public Schools. Together we can and will do hard things. Thank you. Thank you.